Shabbat, Shalawam, Yasharahla. All praises be unto the Most High, YAHAWAH, Bahashem, Amashiach, Yahushai. Today we want to jump through some of these commandments. Some call them basic commandments, the Big Ten. However, we know from the scriptures that there are over 613. So over 613 commandments, laws, statutes, and commandments provided within these scriptures. So today we're just going to go over a few of them and see if we can shed some light a little bit more in regards to these commandments and why perhaps most may be under the impression that there are actually only 10. So let's get into that today. Obviously, to get to these big 10, as they say, we'd need to go to Exodus 20. And from there, we'll just read off a few of them and see the understanding that we gain from that. So we're going to start off I'll just start from the top. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other God before me. Now you see, that's the very first commandments. As soon as you get to verse 3, you get the very first commandments. Verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, nor that is in the water under the earth. So no idolatry. Nothing that is formed by the Most High in the heavens, on the earth, or under the earth. You are not supposed to make images of anything and then give homage, pay homage to it. So no other God but him, and no idolatry. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So, to go into idolatry, to create something by hand, an image of whatever it may be on this earth, and to bow down to it, pay homage to it, you blatantly hate God. And as he says, he will put his judgment, his wrath, generations to come. Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Referring to 1 John 5 and 3, the love of God. This is something people have misunderstood horribly. For some, love is that tingling feeling you get on the inside in your tummy, but that's not what the biblical love is. Love within these scriptures are keeping these commandments. So for you to not keep these commandments, you are showing God you do not love him. Doesn't matter how many times you say, Lord, Lord, Lord. Not implementing these laws, you are showing to the Most High you hate him. Verse 7. Thou shalt not take thy name, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day. Remember the Sabbath day commandment. Keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is, and rested. And the seventh day, wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, made it holy. There are different levels to days. In another class, I'll go into stuff like that. Not all days are the same. Some days were hallowed, made holy. Let's see, jump to verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth. 13. Thou shalt not kill. 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy brother. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. You're not supposed to see what another man or another woman have and want to covet it, take it for yourself, because you get jealous and envious of what they may have. That is a straight up sin, according to the Most High God. Now, those scriptures that I've gone through have basically gone over what you'd consider to be the Big Ten. The Big Ten. But what I want to show here, we're not going to come out of this chapter, but what I want to do is I want to show what was actually occurring at the time when these commandments was being given unto the Israelites. So we're going to go down a little bit to, still in chapter 20, but we go to verse 18. And we're going to read from verse 18 to 21 to get the full understanding, because a lot of people in general, when they read the scriptures, these commandments, is as if they stop once they get past number 10 and have no understanding of what actually occurred after that. So here we go. Verse 18. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. They got scared and took themselves out the way. Verse 19. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your face, is fear before your face, that ye sin not. So the people were petrified at the sound of the Most High's voice. So they got scared and went afar off and told Moses. I go from 21. And the people stood afar off. Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. So the people telling Moses, you go speak to God. You go speak to God. And when you come back and tell us what him say, we will hear you. But we are not going to go near there because we might die. This is how afraid and petrified they were at the sound of the Most High God. But then it clearly shows that after they heard the 10, Moses went and got the rest of the commandments and brought it to them. As they say, you go and we will hear. So, to expand a little bit more on that, we go to, still in Exodus, we're just gonna go over to chapter 24. So a few chapters over. Yeah, so we want chapter 24 and verse 7. And it reads, And he took the book of the covenant. Now, the context has not changed. We are still dealing with Moses acquiring these commandments to pass on to the Israelites. And as they said, Bring the word to us and we will hear. So we're literally addressing that. Verse 7. And they took the book of the covenant. The book of the covenant, for anyone who might not know, is the Torah, these laws, the agreement that the Israelites made with the Most High God. That's what was happening earlier when they got the first 10 and got scared. So Moses went and got the other, commandments and brought it to them. But what I'm going to show you now right here is something that I feel a lot overlook or just don't know. So they just don't know what was taking place in the wilderness. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has said, we will do. And he, being obedient, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant, which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words. So I will read over that one more time. I feel I butchered it a little bit, just to make it clearer. So verse 7, and he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience being the Israelites, Moses being the speaker, of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has said, will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words. So once Moses sprinkled the blood of the lamb on the people, the covenant was sealed there, and the people says they will obey. And that is the sealing of the covenant. But what I want to go through now, I want to jump over to a different, still in the book of the law, Leviticus, where we will show examples of other laws being given to the Israelites, apart from what is considered the Big Ten. Because as I said, there are 613 laws. Right, so just bear with me 1 second. Let me go get Leviticus. We want Leviticus chapter 19, and we're going to start off at verse 26. Okay, verse 26. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantments nor observe times. In regards to ye shall not eat anything with the blood, that's like rare meat, where you see them people like to have their steak, but when you cut into it, there's pure blood running out of it. The Most High says this is a sin unto the Israelites. This must not be done. Your food must be cooked properly. Neither shall ye use enchantment, nor observe the time. That's going into witchcraft, obia. Sticking your heads in the stars, talking about horoscope. Who is Capricorn from who is whatever else. All these things are folly. The Most High is against this. This is a sin. Bear in mind, we're reading commandments, definitely not from the Big Ten, because we're in the book of Leviticus right now. So let's jump down to verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your beards, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. Again, ye shall not round the corner of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard, which means you are not to create baldness upon your head. Remove all your hair, total skull, like, example, not to belittle a brother, but example like the Michael Jordans of the world, will peel off everything off their head and just left its skull and then aisle it. The Most High is not down with that. It also mentions not to mar the corners of your beard. Your beard is not to be taken off in the same way as what you do with your head and balding it. The beard is meant to be on your face. It must not be destroyed. That is what the Most High is saying. So again, to be walking around as an Israelite man with a baby face, you are in sin according to God. Because this is a commandment. And so far, none of them is hard. So far, none of them is hard. Right, we're going to keep going. Verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. That goes into tattoos. I myself am guilty of that. Repented from that. What does that mean? You acknowledge the sin, and to repent from it, you don't do it again. That's what that means. Let's move on. So again, that was addressing tattoos, making cuttings, markings in your flesh. That's what a tattoo is. I'll go from the top of 28 again. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. Quite clear. Verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. Whoredom is basically sleeping around, not having a husband, not having a hedge over you, and you're literally bouncing from one man to the next. That's not just for me to say put blame on the sisters, because the brothers that are out there using the sister is in folly also, because it is telling you plainly, man and woman, you cannot make a whore of the daughters of Israel. So you can't be whoring out your sisters around here. And in regards to it saying, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. What happens when this whole heap of kids being born out of wedlock, no stable household? It just creates more chaos. Hence why the Most High is letting you know this is a sin to do. You must not do this. You know, let's jump down to about verse 35. Yeah, let's go verse 35 and we'll go to about 37. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meteyard, in weight, nor measure. So that's meter. In weight or in measure. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Lord God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe all my statutes and all my judgment, and do them. I am the Lord. So as you see, those are commandments coming out of the scriptures, which are not in the Big Ten. There's quite a few more. And there are different sections to the law. Like, for example, the dietary law. Let's go have a quick look at that. We stay with Leviticus, because like I said, this is the book of the law, the Torah. First 5 books of Moses. You get the commandments. So, Leviticus chapter 11. Leviticus chapter 11, starting off from, let's go from verse 1 to 3. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Verse 3. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Cheweth the cud, splitteth the hoof. Cows, oxen, sheep, goats, just to name a few. Those are clean for you to eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel. Unclean must not be eaten, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. You know a cow foot looks like, and you know a cow is always constantly chewing. So even though the camel here chews continually, he does not parteth the hoof. So that is why he is unclean unto you. So the Most High is just showing little differences between the animals so you know the clean from the unclean. And the coney horse, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, as they call bunny rabbits, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Verse 7. And the swine, though he divideth the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean unto you. The swine, the pig, that bacon, it is unclean unto you. The Most High does not want the Israelite to be eating these animals. Of their flesh shall ye not eat. So I didn't make it up. I did not make it up. The Most High said that. You love God. God said, don't eat that, don't eat that. You eat that and still say you love God. How lying wicked are you? Straight up. Lying wicked. But you say you love God. This easy to keep. You don't have to eat horse. You don't have to eat pig. Let's go to, yeah, that should be it for that one. Let's go down a little bit further. So I'll be able to show you what you can eat from the waters. These, verse 9, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever has fin and scales in the water, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Fins, scales, okay. Snapper, salmon, parrotfish, tarpon, many fish. Fins and scale. We know what fin is and we know what scale is. Many fishes we can eat. Okay, let's keep going. And all that have not fins and scale in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the water, they shall be an abomination unto you. An abomination. I don't need to go into that to explain what that word means. It's an abomination. To eat things from the water that does not have fins and scale. What's in the water that does not have fins and scale? Shrimp, crab, lobster. You got catfish. It may have fins, but it has no scale. So it's just skin. You can't name shark. You see, those are the kind of things. Shellfish. None of that. Because it has no fins nor scales. This is what the Most High is saying. And he went as far as to say it is an abomination for you to consume this. Salakia, Israel. So we'll go through to 11 and 12. They shall be, verse 11, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass, Salakia, but ye shall have their carcass in abomination. Whatsoever has no fins nor scale in the waters, but shall be an abomination unto you. So he's repeated that 3 times. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not hard to not eat stuff like that. We don't need to. And the Most High is not going to give you laws that are not good for you. You know. So those are what some would consider basic commandments. Easier commandments to implement into your life starting right now. You know. So we shall talk again anyway, Yasharahla. It's a beautiful thing. You know, because I've been getting some feedbacks and it's humbling. Let's just say that. It's humbling. So all praises be unto the Most High. YAHAWAH, Bahashem, Amashiach, Yahawah Shai. And we shall catch up again, Yasharahla. All praises. Shalawam.